Well, good morning. Now you join me today on a very cold, in fact a very, very cold January morning. Now I've just come out, it's roughly 10 to 7 in the morning, and I've come out to do some lure fishing for bass. Now the sun's going to come up pretty quickly. I just wanted to get down to this mark to have a few casts off the shore during darkness to see if I can pick up 1 or 2 bass before I head to another spot which is very close to here, and I'll start fishing during daylight. Now I'm going to be throwing out just a shallow diving lure to start with. The conditions aren't exactly great. It's very calm today. We've got small tides. It will be clear skies once that sun comes up, but hopefully with it being early morning the bass is still going to be on the feed and we can maybe locate 1 or 2. So yeah, the plan is to fish a mark today, a little bit far out, about half a mile offshore, out on a reef. But first of all, I'm just on the beach at the moment. I'm gonna give it a few chucks straight off the shoreline and see if we can pick up anything before we really get started. So I just sort of do a quick little intro. If I do happen to catch something, I'll put the camera straight on, obviously. If not, you'll probably see me walking out on the reef in the next bit. Well, I don't know how much you'll be able to see in the dark, but second cast here. I've had 2 casts and I'm into a fish already. Come on. Where is he? Just got to be really gentle when bringing them in through the waves. Now I'm not sure if it's foul hooked or what, but it felt like a decent hit when That's not a bad fish. That's not a bad fish at all. That is a fat fish, in fact. But there we go. 1 bass, second cast in the morning. What more could you ask for? Well, how about that for a start to the morning? That's actually a lovely fish. I'll get the other camera set up and give you a better show. Well, here we go. How's this for a start to the morning? Now that there is a good 3-pound bass, easily. That's an absolutely lovely fish. Really, really fat. So this fish is full of eggs, I'm guessing. So it's going to go back, obviously. But that is an absolute stunner. That's actually a better stamp of fish than what I normally get off this beach, just off the shore as well. Normally it's just little tiny schoolies. Well, that's an absolute beauty, that fish. Really, really happy about that. Second cast on the IMA Hound Glide. I'm going to get it back in the water now. But what an unbelievable start to the morning. Whoa, really, really happy. Going to put him down. Lovely chunk of a bass. So really can't complain. Get in. Right then, let's get this absolute stunner back. What a cracking fish that is. That's a proper chunk. There we go. I'd rather not get my hands wet because it's so cold. And off it goes. Well, here we go. Fish number 2 of the morning. Now that was
probably one of the oddest takes I've ever had in my life. But let me get him unhooked and I'll get you a better look.
As you can see in the background, the sun's starting to come up now, and that is fish number 2. That one's a lot skinnier, a lot smaller and a lot skinnier, but still I'd say that was about just under 2 pound. Still a nice fish. That was the oddest take I've probably ever had in my whole entire life. I'll explain a bit afterwards, but I've got dog walkers around everywhere. I'm going to get this fish back in the water. What an unbelievable start to the morning.
Well, what a great start to the morning. I'm really pleased with that. And like I said at the start of the video, I was coming to fish the mark I'm going to now, originally. And I thought to myself last night, I thought actually I'm going to get down there a bit early, just before that sun comes up, and have a few goes off the shore. Now I had one cast and literally moved, I must have moved maybe 20 steps to my right, and that's what I do on this beach where I was. I literally have a few casts in one area, walk 20 steps, 5 or 6 more, another 20 steps, and I work my way up the beach and then back down again. And yeah, the second cast, hooked into that fish, put up a hefty scrap, to be honest. Sometimes it felt a bit bigger than what it was. It was a good 3 pound, maybe pushing 3.5, but a big fat fish, not very long but short and stumpy, probably full of roe. The bass will be spawning shortly, so yeah, a few of them are a couple chunks which can put up a nice little fight in the tide. Now I had maybe 5 or 6 more casts, and like I said, just kept moving up and down the beach, and then hooked into another one which was probably the weirdest scrap I've ever had from a bass. What it felt like is, sometimes when you're fishing with metals you can hook really small pollock, like really small, and you're never sure whether you've got a fish on. It could be a bit of weed, it just feels like a tiny little fish. Anyway, that's how it felt. The initial hit felt like that, and then it came off. I carried on reeling in the lure, had a bit of slack line. I thought maybe that's still on there and it's swimming towards me. So I kept on reeling, and all of a sudden it just bolted. So it was just hooked in the side of the lip, and then it had one of the hooks just near the gill plate. Fortunately it wasn't damaged at all, but yeah, I think he just must have picked it up and just bolted towards me. And then as it got a bit closer in, decided, or sensed that something was up, and made a move for it. So yeah, an odd scrap, but 2 fish. I must have had, I reckon, only 15 casts along the beach there. Like I said, the sun was coming up, so I only had about 20 minutes anyway. And with unhooking those fish and getting some photos of them, that used up the time. Just gone back to my car, ditched the head torch, had a refill on the coffee, and now I'm going to head out onto this reef and see if we can find anything out there. All around this beach, very popular beach in Guernsey, there's bass everywhere. So if you are new to lure fishing, I'm not going to give exact spots and locations, but always the west coast of Guernsey fishes all year round. probably outfishes the rest of the island, to be honest. So let's head out onto this reef. Got a bit of a trek out there, but it's meant to clear up today. We're meant to have really clear skies. At the moment there's a bit of cloud, a bit of sea mist, which is good. Gives a bit of cover because there's not a lot of swell today. The sea's flat calm. So hopefully, with it being early morning, the fish will still be on the feed and we can maybe find one or two more. So for now, I'm going to keep the IMA Hound on, chuck this out, see if we can locate any more fish. Well, it's very quiet. As you can probably see, that sun's well up now. It's actually a beautiful day, but it's very quiet up here, very still. There is a bit of tide, but it's flat calm. But I'll keep trying. Probably won't stay too long here actually. Don't quite have the feel of it today for this spot, so I might give it a few more casts and then possibly head somewhere else later on today. Well, I've just had a quick drop for a wrasse and first cast. I don't believe that. Just chucked the Sidewinder Skerrie on. I found this little gully. I didn't even have the camera on. And first drop, there we go. Lovely little wrasse. Easy. Right, come on mate. There we go. There's the lure. The good old Sidewinder Skerrie. There we have a lovely ballon wrasse. So, if you happen to be like me as well, I get pretty impatient quite quickly. Now there was nothing happening at that spot. I don't really see it working out today. And so I went for a little wander. I've just found a gully here, a load of tide running through here. Well, in fact, lots of tide. I just thought I'd have a quick drop for a wrasse. So I clipped on a little 10-gram Sidewinder Skerrie. And first drop, I'm just playing around, no camera on or anything. First drop and wallop, wrasse on. I've got him in a pool here. These things can be a bit of a nightmare to hold. But there we go. What a lovely ballon wrasse. First drop on the Skerrie. I'll get back into this gully. As you can see, this here is this gully. This runs out into the open sea. But if I can show you properly, if I don't fall in, as you can see, just down there, got the tide flowing in really, really fast. And then the gully goes all the way to the bottom there. And it runs the whole way through this. Back out that side too. I was just walking along these rocks up here. Give that lens a wipe. I was just walking up along the rocks round here, and I just happened to peep down and I thought there's got to be a wrasse in that gully. Sure enough, we found one, so I'm going to have another couple of drops and work my way down it, see if we can find a few more. So it's hard to gauge exactly how deep this gully is. It does drop off quite deep, I think, but it's got big boulders in it. So obviously, there's a snag there. There we go, got it out. I was just about to say, so obviously, just got to be careful of those snags. Just kind of bobbing the lure up and down, as you do for wrasse. And they'll come out all the cracks and holes. As soon as they hit, you've got to be quick on them, because they'll drag you back into that hole, snag you up. Nice size wrasse. Whoa! This is a big wrasse. That is a chunk. And that took the lure and didn't put up much of a scrap, and then all of a sudden went mad. That's a nice sized wrasse, that. In fact, that's a beauty. Come here. God, Jesus. That is a fat wrasse. What a beast. Bang. Well, that there is a 4 to 5 pound wrasse all day long. That is a chunky fish. I'd give that 4.5. I wouldn't say that's quite 5. But what a beauty. It's absolutely inhaled that skerrie. There we go. Lures out nice and easy. Let's get this fish back in the water. Well, what a stunker. My God, that thing went for a second. Here we go. What an absolute beast that is. That's a good 4.5 pound ballon wrasse, that. Beautiful colours on it. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get him back in the water. I'm just going to chuck him in from here. Nosedive down. And he's disappeared to the bottom straight away. Now I think my little session's going to come to an end now. I may go somewhere else later on. If I do, I'll link it to this video. But yeah, the tide's on the turn now, so I need to get back. But yeah, I was just about to give up on the wrasse fishing. I thought, sod's law, I catch one fish first drop, put the camera on and then get nothing. I've just moved up and down the gully and come to this particular spot. Cast the lure out this time. Instead of just dropping it in front of me, I actually cast it to my left. And I had a hit from a wrasse and I thought, oh, there's one. So I just paused the lure. Sure enough, whether it was the same one, I'm pretty sure it was, came back and slammed it. At first I thought it was just a little fish, and it wasn't until I got it about 5 or 6 meters in front of me, it bolted, and Wrasse put an unbelievable bend in your rod. The Shimano Airnos that I'm using is actually a pretty good wrasse fishing rod. It's a fast action tip, so it's got a lot of strength behind it, and you can really connect with the lure properly. So what a great way to end the session. I'm glad I got one on camera. 2 little wrasse, 2 bass this morning. Like I said, if I do go anywhere else, I'll link it to this video, but if not, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd just like to mention one thing. I'd like to say thanks very much to everybody who subscribes and comments on the videos and watches my videos, messages me. I really appreciate it. I've recently released a website called fishingwithcal.com. It's in the works. Well, it's live at the moment. You can go look at it, go check it out. It's got a couple of blogs on there, some photos, a bit of information, but it is a work in progress. So as time progresses, it will build. I'll keep adding things to it. The blogs are going to be monthly, so I'll put one up at the end of this month, January. So please go check it out. Let me know what you think. If you want stuff added to it, or you don't think anything's suitable, please let me know. I'm open to everything. Yeah, and that's it. So once again, thanks very much for watching. I will definitely be out sometime soon, so I'll see you on the next one.